Welcome to Taking Action. I'm Chris Colombo. This is episode 25. It was very interesting, to say the least, turn of events in the divisional playoff championship, and we'll be back with that with Anthony Conover. I'll be doing comments, and this is episode 25, and I'm excited to come back. Thank you. Welcome back to Taking Action, our 25th episode. Anthony Conover, who has proven he is a very good handicapper. Some people say it, he's done it. I think I have the best percentage in the nation. I think he's number 2 right now. I watched a few of these other guys, more than a few. Not very good. Not very good. I'm choreographed. They can't choreograph a win.
A lot of analysis going into our picks. That's why we take this seriously.
The secret to our success is everybody talks about modern gambling. Point spread, winner, loser, amount of points. The rest of that is sauce for the goose. Amount of points, above it, hit it, or below it. That's a total. I mean, I don't know what modern day gambling is. Modern day gambling is when you watch shows, they can't pick a winner. The percentage is terrible, and they just keep feeding the same jargon and drama and the hype. So you run out and just give the house your money. And somehow try to convince yourself you won.
That's why everybody, that's why all the shows and everything tell you to do parlays. Hardest thing to win. Everybody wants you doing parlays.
True money dogs in the right 2-team parlay is the best bet in sports, but you can't bet 37 of them.
Well,
because you only have to hit 1 out of 4 to make money. So if you pick your teams properly.
But they're having, we got people out here doing 6-7 team parlays.
When they hit, they pay off.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, listen, you hit a 7-team parlay, you're looking at a pretty nice paycheck, even if you're, putting $10 down.
Let's put it this way. Hey,
I've done a many a parlay.
I had 750 of my own customers, and somewhere close to 2,500 that I partnered with that I handled the action for on a half sheet or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was also merged with 3 offices that turned all their business into me and worked for me. So I don't know how many players that is. And I took up to 18 parlays. Okay?
Like 18...
8-team parlay.
Oh, 8. Okay, 8.
8 variables in there.
Okay.
No prop bets, but money dog, favorite, line, pick 'em, stuff like that. You can throw some of them in there, like to win the series and things like that. And I took them in baseball, basketball, and football.
Almost baseball. Okay? Almost baseball season.
Love the Yankees. Okay. I don't know how many years I used to take action, but it was an awful long. I paid 1.
Yeah, like I said, I've done many a parlays in my young betting career. Not very successful at that. Straight bets, good. Parlays, well, you're always chasing it. You're always chasing.
Why are they advertising parlays and chasing people to win on straight bets? Only way to beat the house. I'm here for one simple reason, to let you know what I know. If you want to accept it, it's up to you. I mean, if you believe gambling is losing, now, the recreational gambler that has X amount of dollars, that's why I enjoy the playoffs. I think they're pretty crooked, personally, my opinion. I think a lot of it's crooked, but I can pick who's going to be crooked at times. The playoffs, you never know what your heart's on. My favorite better was the recreational better. The bet didn't care if he won or lost and didn't hurt himself. And he threw 500 on a game if he could afford it, or a couple 500 on games on a Sunday, and he enjoyed himself. When you start escalating your bets, you start out betting 100 a game, and then you're stuck, and that Sunday night game comes in, and you're stuck 900 because you just took a big duck egg, and goose egg, or whatever you want to call it, and now you let the Sunday night game ride with everything you got to try and get out. You know the meaning of pain.
So what was betting Monday to Sunday? Obviously, then.
No. Week ended on a Sunday, started on a Monday.
Okay, that's okay.
Except Philadelphia.
So like so that means like they couldn't, because I'm just saying from like Monday Night Football. So that means you were starting the week with Monday Night Football. Not
why I
ending it
would
with
do
Sunday.
that is they wanted to bet Monday Night Football. They call up and get their figure for the week.
Okay.
Guys that won would call in right away.
Of course.
The guys that lost would try to make a bet on Monday so they could carry over to the next week.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because I would pay the winners on a Tuesday morning, first thing. You want it? It's yours.
Now, how does something like that get paid? I mean, you can't write a check.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard.
Yeah.
If you do write a check, it's called money laundering.
I was gonna say.
Yes. So you take it like a victimless violation, usually misdemeanor, or life imprisonment. If,
Something small.
Life imprisonment. So, and turn it into, let's say, you lose and you pay me $3,200 by check. In the feds, that's called money laundering because you're now taking legal money, paying an illegal debt. It's like laundering it. If I paid you by a check, it's like laundering it. That's why people who do illegal things go to the casinos and the legal bookmakers. They can actually hit you with money laundering if they want to. It's happened to some people I know. They like messing around with the gunji, and they went in there and they said, "Here's 40,000 in 20s that reeked after getting $100 of chips and playing poker," and they got arrested for money laundering.
Not what you want.
Not a very bright move, but then again, if you're that stoned on 36% THC, the world's a beautiful place. Right above till it wears off and you're in bars and you're going to do 3 years. Okay, moving forward. I think we spoke enough about that. Moving forward, let's get into the playoffs.
All right. Well, conference championship games.
Yes.
We had Chiefs beat the Ravens 17-10.
I don't think the Chiefs beat the Ravens. I don't think the Ravens came to play football.
Yeah, no, that was their worst performance of the year by a mile. And obviously not a very good time to do that in the biggest game of the year, barring the Super Bowl.
And I made two very good points. The Baltimore Ravens had great success running the ball. And the quarterback running the ball. They're running shoot offense. I've always said they don't do really well in big games.
They were the number one run offense the entire season.
What did they run the ball? 11% of the time?
I believe it came out that they passed 82% of their plays.
18% runs or or Lamar running.
Yeah, 18% rush plays, 82% pass.
If it is not choreographed, why would you change?
I don't there's two, like I said, we talked about it. There's two things I really just don't understand about the game. And one thing is more that I don't understand about football in general. But first of all, like you said, they were the number one.
Not broke. Why fix it?
Yeah, they were the number one running offense the entire season. Yes. From running backs, designed runs for Lamar, and
screen passes.
Run
and shoot.
Yeah, things like that. And all of a sudden, they became drop back, take big passes down the field.
Not what he excels at.
I don't understand the point of it. And then and they shot themselves in the foot a couple times as well. Obviously, there was the Zay Flowers. He stands over, he pushes the guy back down to the ground, stands over him, gets a taunting penalty.
He deserved that one.
No, exactly. Like I said, he shot himself in the foot. Like, what's the point of that? And then also,
did he throw the ball too?
Yeah, he fumbled it into the end zone, which resulted in a touchback. So, obviously that's a lot of momentum in the game. But
a lot of momentum.
Obviously the offense played terrible. But the defense only gives up 17 points. They give up 0
But
points.
they gave up 17 points, but I think they were on the field over 80% of the time.
In the first half, I remember at one point the Chiefs had the ball for like 14 minutes in the first half at one point, like total.
That's
and I
90.
think the Ravens had
9% of the time.
I think the Ravens, well, in the first half, not the first quarter.
That's 99% of the time.
I think the
first quarter, 99% of the first quarter.
I think, like I said, I think at some point in the first half, they had the ball for like 14 minutes and the Ravens had the ball for like 3:50, like 3 minutes, 50 seconds, somewhere in that area. So, I mean, they were getting dominated on time of possession for sure. I mean, I think
no matter how good, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No,
I interrupt them on sentences, not paragraphs. I can't stop them on that. I don't care how good your defense is. I played both ends, but I coach offensive line and head coach. But I don't care how good your defense, if it doesn't get a break, it's going to run out of steam. Because you got to remember, they run plays for your safeties and quarterbacks to run out of air. And they also run plays. That's why they do running plays into the middle to test and make you hit and chase the ball.
Yeah,
and it's designed that way.
And then, I mean, it also doesn't help. Let me pull it up just to make sure that we're right here.
Well, you're pretty close. I watched the game.
I mean, 11 catches, 116 yards,
Kelce,
and a touchdown for Travis Kelce. The entire season, the whole storyline with the Chiefs is that their wide receivers have not been playing good. They've been dropping passes. They're not getting, open as well, whatever. You go into this game knowing you have to stop one person. One person. You know you need to pay attention to him. And you give up 11 catches for 116 yards?
Not only that,
how?
The rule is, and what you want to do with a tight end, and he's big, you bring people up and hit him in the first 5 yards.
Listen.
They never touched him. Then they man-on-manned them, but 8 yards back.
Like I said, I'm a Patriots fan, so I watched Gronkowski play. They used to bum Gronk at the line with defensive ends.
Pick him up at the feet.
Yeah. And they would tackle him low. They just let Travis do whatever he wanted. I mean, I don't understand.
Another good point you made was, I don't mean to interrupt you, the Taylor Swift and Kelce has added a $330 million extra revenue to the NFL.
Yeah, somebody, I don't know how the report came out or something.
I would say it's accurate.
I saw it that like since she started like showing up to games, like $333.1 million or something, they believe in like added revenue since she's shown up. So if that's all during the regular season and the playoffs,
it's even more significant.
Imagine during the Super Bowl, which is the highest rated TV show every single year. I think last year might have gotten 150 million people.
Not to brag, which I'm humble.
Oh, of course.
But house arrest, why they shut it down when I was on trial. They tried to put me in jail they did put me in jail for making a TV show. But anyway, I had higher Nielsen ratings in the Super Bowl.
I mean, hey, it was entertaining. It's on YouTube. Go watch it after you watch this episode and
they left it on demand, and it was shown in 37 countries and 17 languages. That one episode, before it was on demand, they ran it for 1.5 years.
What? Still on YouTube. Like I said,
it started out on HBO.
I know. I'm just saying the people can still watch it though. After they watch this wonderful episode, and they subscribe, comment,
and subscribe. There's Anthony Subliminal.
They can
notice I didn't cut him off on that sentence.
No, they can go watch House Arrest.
Yeah, but the point being is, it's not like you don't know Kelce is his go-to guy.
It's like not cover. I know it's.
I don't care what films you watch. It's Kelce.
It's it's an exaggeration a little bit, obviously, but it's like playing the 49ers back in the day and not covering Jerry Rice. You know where the ball was going.
He was tough to cover, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, Kelsey's tough to cover too. He's a great player. There's no doubt about that. No, I know. I'm just saying.
But he was 80% of their offense.
Yeah, you go. I've always said this, and I mean, obviously, I'm not an NFL defensive coordinator, but I feel like if you go into the game and the number 2 or 3 option is the reason you lose, you can kind of go to sleep at night. But how do you rest your head knowing that the number 1 option beat you?
Can I raise my hand? Well, this was disheartening. I'm not a big Baltimore fan by nature, but you got to give credit where credit is due. Lamar should win MVP.
Oh no, he's going to win MVP.
Number
Absolutely.
one. Number two, that defense played unbelievable, and that whole team played, and they had a tough schedule.
0 points in the second half.
And
of the
they
game.
didn't dog one game to look to the next week.
Nope.
And they didn't lay down, and they gave the fans their money worth, and they played hard football.
Yeah. I mean,
I thought in the first game they were going to come out against the Texans. Made a mistake, but I don't handicap playoffs. Nobody can.
no, they covered that first game. They covered that first game against
They
the Texans.
covered, yes.
Yeah.
But they played them hard.
Yeah. That, Ravens.
I didn't think the Texans were a match for them, but I didn't think they'd played them that hard.
No.
They didn't let up.
No.
They played Raven football. I handed it to Harbaugh. They played Raven football.
Yeah. Oh, they absolutely did.
Look when I said Harbaugh. Why?
What?
Why'd you look when I said Harbaugh?
Look what?
He came.
No, I know.
He was taking no chances. He played Raven football.
No, absolutely. They
hard hitting, sticking, running, catching, tackling. He played.
Like I said, this was unfortunately their worst performance of the year in a spot where you obviously can't have that
He
happen.
didn't perform bad. It was like poorly orchestrated.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, the talking heads of the media now and everything saying, blaming the offensive coordinator for the Ravens.
How could you not?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, 82% passes. Like, listen, I like, Lamar's good and everything, but he's not passing wise. He's not,
His passing is effective because the threat of his run.
Yes, absolutely.
Take the option of his run away, you're giving it an edge to the defense.
I mean, you're definitely not as nervous when he's in the pocket.
Unless they felt, we're going to do something and trick him. I don't think so. I mean, losing a game is not tricking the other players.
And I mean,
or maybe they felt if the Chiefs ran up and down the field enough, they'd be exhausted.
I mean, and obviously you got to
give them the ball for 29 straight minutes in the second half. Maybe, they'll be exhausted.
Maybe the offense will get tired.
They get tired.
And obviously you got to give credit to both ends as well. I mean, the Chiefs defense played very well. Steve Spagnuolo's called an unbelievable defensive game plan.
Very good.
So I mean, obviously it's credit.
I'm a big fan of Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah, he's been.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the Chiefs have one of the. I think they might have been second in a lot of categories that the Ravens were first in. So both of the defenses were very good. It was just
the Chiefs didn't have the toughest schedule in football. The Ravens did.
Ravens. I mean, the Ravens were in probably the most competitive division.
Yes.
I mean, let's see.
And they had tough games in other divisions.
I mean, Ravens, everybody in their division finished above 500.
Yeah.
They had 3 teams in that division make the playoffs, 13-4 on the year. So they definitely.
I think we beat up on the Chiefs enough, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, feel good about that.
I do.
Can't take away anything from Mahomes. You can't take anything away from Kelsey. You can't take anything away from that team. But better team lost.
I think the Ravens were a better team.
But any given Sunday.
Yeah, that's why you play the game. It's not played on paper.
Right. Remember, it's not a series. It's that one game. And, even lesser teams with an intensity can come through you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So anybody that thinks that I don't think some of these games are choreographed or whatever, I do. Go ahead. I just don't voice it often because I like to keep it on the down wrap, but I do consider it in my handicapping.
Yeah.
And I do sometimes, if I can't figure out which one's choreographed, I try to stay away from the game completely.
Then you go over to the NFC side of things, and
by the way, the bookmakers took all the money on that game.
Yeah, probably. I don't know what the
people were all over Baltimore laying the points.
Yeah,
at home.
America really wanted the Ravens and Lions to win, and we didn't get either one.
I wanted the Ravens and Lions to win. I mean, even though I did tout at the beginning of the season, I thought the 49ers beat it. I don't take a genius. No. I think they're still the best team in football.
Definitely the best roster. I keep saying that, but well, speaking of them.
Okay, let's get to them.
Yeah. They 49ers beat the Lions 34-31.
If they could have switched teams for halves, it might have been okay.
I mean, quite the choke job from the Lions in this one, unfortunately.
Listen.
It's a choke job in the word that people
all
use.
The smart money was on the Lions money line or San Francisco laying the points.
I mean, yeah, you might as well play for the upset.
I said that I like the dogs in the playoffs. I think all dogs won except 2 games. Covered that one.
Oh yeah,
Covered.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean the Lions.
I don't, from a betting standpoint, I really don't care who bets, but when it gets to the playoffs, it's
Yeah.
fun.
I mean,
Those of you who said I've been waiting all year didn't pick them. Who could pick them?
I think the Lions were 7-point
You're going to
underdogs.
pick a team that dominated all year long, or go off it, and they decide that they're running and shooting is the most successful thing going. Lamar's having the best run and shoot year out of anybody since Michael Vick, maybe even a little better. And then they're going to decide just to stay in the pocket and throw the ball. Who can figure that out?
It was an interesting game plan.
People ask me, do I consider coaching in my handicapping? Yes.
Have to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, 34-31, 49ers win over the Lions. They were up 24-7 at halftime. And then
that is ridiculous.
It kind of all...
That's the most points in a playoff game as a comeback, isn't it?
No. Patriots were down 28-3 in the Super Bowl.
I said playoffs.
Well, yes, playoffs, though.
Well, that's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but it's still the playoffs. I think.
No, you get to the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl. That's what you win. You're at the Super Bowl. That's the Super Bowl. Hate the correction.
It was definitely a. I don't know where it ranks.
Let's call it a divisional game.
Yeah, I don't.
Divisional championship game. I think that is the largest margin comeback.
It was up there. I know it was. Yeah, it was a very big comeback. I don't know.
Let's talk about that game.
Yeah.
I thought they had a brilliant first half, the Detroit Lions.
Oh, absolutely. 24-7.
And it's not even like they adjusted anything.
No. I think
a lot of questionable calls in that game.
Listen, I love Dan Campbell as a coach. He's very entertaining and everything, but I blame the coaching big time in this one. 49ers came out, they kick a field goal to make it 24-10.
Right.
The Lions drive down the field on their possession. They could have kicked a field goal to make it
24-13.
No, make it 27-10. So they would still be up by 17 points.
Right.
They go for it on fourth down.
Right.
Don't get it.
Right.
49ers drive right back down the field, score again.
Right.
So now it's 24-17. All of a sudden, we're only down by a touchdown.
Right.
Next possession, I think the Lions fumbled.
Right.
Now, that's not a coaching problem, obviously, but they fumble. 49ers score a touchdown. Now you're all tied up. I just think that, and Dan Campbell even said it at the beginning of the game, too. He said it's kind of a race to 30 points.
Right.
You kick the field goal, go up 27-17 or 27-14, whatever it was. You're still at that point where, you have a lead. But obviously, you
just increase your lead.
Yeah, you keep
chip away, but give them harder to come for.
And you say
and you narrow their plays to what they need to do.
Well, that's the thing, and you say it all the time too with momentum. That momentum is huge in football. You just drove down the field and kicked a field goal, and then you get a fourth down stop. That's a big boost to a team.
Kick the field goal.
Exactly.
You're up. Kick the field goal.
Yes.
But apply as much pressure with points as humanly possible.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't walk away with nothing. You're up.
Yes.
What are you going for it on fourth down? You're up.
And the thing that I hate that's being said now, he was aggressive the whole season. You have to stick to that.
Well,
circumstances change things.
Division championship game, he wasn't ahead.
Well, the Lions, I'm saying, were ahead, obviously.
Yes, but you can't compare the season.
That's what
you're in the division.
That's what everybody's saying. He was aggressive all season coaching. You got to be aggressive. It got you there. Stick with it. The circumstances say you should change some certain things.
Well, listen.
The way you talk to one person,
if you're aggressive on game 10, you're coming back to game 11. If you're up and you're winning, you want as much pressure on that offense as possible.
Yes,
because now that offensive coordinator has to narrow his plays with the timing. As that clock goes, your plays are narrowed.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they're up 17 points. The 49ers can't run the ball as often because that's bleeding clock away.
It's bleeding the time.
Which is what they want to do, too. Everybody thinks the 49ers are a big, fancy team. They're a power run team. They love running the ball. They're power run. Trent Williams, CMC.
They took that feather, that weapon out of their arsenal.
And then, and then later in the game, much later, now the Lions are down 10. And
This was ridiculous.
yeah, this one was unbelievable.
Ludicrous,
Yes,
absurd,
I would say so.
unbelievable,
Yeah.
galactically stupid.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Anything else? I don't know if you.
Yeah.
So now the Lions are down 10. They're driving. Obviously, they need to score 10 points. There's a minute left. They have all 3 of their timeouts.
Right.
So if you score anything, you can call all 3 timeouts, force the 49ers to kick the ball back to you.
Right.
3rd and goal, the Lions run the ball, don't get the touchdown.
And don't
and
call
then,
a timeout.
No. And then they do call their timeout. So now,
Why'd they spike the ball?
well, it was 3rd and goal. So
A field goal.
it would have been 4. They could have done that.
Save the time and now
Save the timeout. But no, they call their timeout. They score a
and they didn't need to do an onside kick at that point.
Not if you saved all 3 timeouts.
No.
So, but they call the timeout on 3rd and goal.
They did it backwards.
4th and goal, they score the touchdown, and now you're forced to go for an onside kick, which has worked, I believe,
11% of the 3% of the time.
I think this season it was 2 out of 41. So I think it was like 4 point something percent, whatever. You just did that instead of even if
coaching was horrendous.
Listen, like I said, I think you
kicked the field goal, you kicked the regular thing. Your defense is on the field. This is it.
Yeah, they're probably going to run the ball.
You got all 3 timeouts left.
They're probably going to run the ball all 3 times. So
Right.
as long as you can defend and the Lions have a great run defense. They're very good at that.
Right.
You make them run the ball 3 times. Maybe listen, is it a long shot still? Probably. But at least you're getting the ball back with
It's a calculated long shot rather than an impossible situation.
Yeah. I mean, if they score that touch, if they kick the field goal on 4th and goal and there's a minute left, okay, you kick the ball off, 3 run plays and the punt, you're probably looking 35, 30 seconds left. It was just a very weird situation. That
stupid.
Yeah, I don't know why you would.
It was just stupid.
Like I said, I think Dan
spiked the ball and called why he ran the ball is beyond me.
Yeah, I don't know why would you run the ball on 3rd and goal when you know you need a touchdown and a field goal. You're just
throw it to the end zone. If not, kick the field goal.
Yeah.
Or if you run the ball, get up to the line and spike it so you don't waste your timeouts.
Well,
something.
Well, they couldn't. Well, that's the only thing. They couldn't spike it because the run play was on 3rd and goal, so it was 4th and goal now. Yeah. So they can't spike it, obviously. But
the field goal is what I said.
No, yeah, It was
unfathomable. What was on your mind?
And obviously, like I said, Dan Campbell, I think, really built a very good culture there. I think he coached the team extremely well the entire season. This was, their first time.
The same thing about
first time in the playoffs.
And the same thing about the Super Bowl. Somebody has to go home a loser.
Yeah.
Aggressive didn't work for you the whole game. They weren't aggressive in the first half. They just played good football.
See, it's good thing you brought that up because I almost forgot about that. Going into halftime, everybody says you have to be aggressive the entire time.
They played good football, not aggressive.
They took a field goal going into halftime. So if you want to say you have to be aggressive all the time,
that's when you go for it, because you still got another half of football to play.
Why didn't you go for the touchdown then? Make it 28-7. Why'd you kick the field goal?
It was inverted. The logic was inverted.
It was, and I mean, it was a 21-yard field goal.
You played good football in your head, but you got conservative. You kicked the field goal. Why do you want to get aggressive? It's not aggressive. It was stupidity. I mean,
but that is so now the Super Bowl's set.
All right, we're coming back before the Super Bowl. We're going to be here with you every week, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Through the season, maybe not every week, but we're going to be dropping. We'll be doing interviews. We got some interesting people coming aboard. We have a lot of people we interviewed that are still waiting to be edited.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to be showed to you. We're going to talk about NBA when we can. We're going to talk about baseball. We're going to talk about hockey. I know very little about hockey, but I do understand how to bet it, especially the unders and overs. Hockey's the goalie.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about how to bet a little bit of basketball. It's impossible unless we're here every day to do a show for basketball. I can't make that kind of commitment. Long season and difficult. Overall, let's recap what I think the year was for betting. Those that came upon early caught my 4 for 4 the first game, the first three, because I'll say this again. The first 3 weeks, and now they extended it 4 weeks, got a shot because the lines aren't tight.
Yeah.
And nobody's orchestrating yet. So I believe my first show, we went 4 for 4 the first week of
I
football,
believe
correct?
so, yeah.
My main pick stood up. Second week, I went, I think it was 6 or 7.
I'd have to look back, but we usually did. You usually did, I should say.
Third
pretty
week
well.
was pretty good. It was multiple, but I think it was like 7 or 9.
I think week 3 or 4 was the teaser week. I can't remember which one
Right.
it was.
Week 3, I believe, was the teaser week. I went 8 for 9. That was the first teaser week.
Yeah.
Then the week I wanted to back off, everybody said I was 6-1. I was 5-2, so I was 3 positions behind. So when I did multiple teams, I did pretty good.
Yeah, you're still doing
But I
good.
knew when to back off.
Yeah,
I'm 15-3 on the season. It should have been 15-2. I should have skipped that 1 week. I gave it 2 teaser weeks. Next year we're going to work on, and baseball we're going to work on money dog parlays, 2 money dogs in a parlay, or it may be the favorite lay runs take money. Okay, it's considered a favorite, but you're still getting money in a parlay, which is exponentially advantageous to the better the way the parlay works. Okay, so overall, here's what I'm most happy about. Anthony's a very smart young man. One of the smartest I ever met. The only thing he's missing is experience. And he does have wisdom because he has and I would like hail his nan. Best tiramisu I ever tasted. One of the finest women I've ever had the pleasure to meet. Has a very nice family. His brother's going on to a career I would rather not mention because of national security. Is that fair?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to do that. Very nice family. When he came on board, this is what he likes to do. He's sticking it out with me in funding, but he's coming along really well there too. He's starting to understand the kill and the hunt and to be right for more than one and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm actually very proud of him. And it's too say I interrupt him, but I do that to break his balls. And I enjoy doing it. And he gets me all day long. You could ask him.
I think I'm up in the series.
Yeah, you're up
honestly.
Well, he does it when crunch time when it's important, when there's $1 million deal. I do it when we're over here breaking chops.
Yeah. If you can't have fun, why do it, right?
But however, knowledge can be passed to the younger generations. I prove that. If they want to listen or respect the person they're listening to, but you got to respect them too.
Yeah. I mean,
and I think to some degree I do that, but not when I throw my snot rags at him. Especially when I'm sick. He doesn't understand that. But anyway, man has no social graces.
Yeah.
I'm teasing. He got me sick. He gave me this cold. He imported it from Germany.
I think The Office gave The Office the cold.
You came and gave it to me. There was never such closeness till you got sick.
I coughed right on your mouse.
Yeah, kind of. Well, you're singing opera to me. So anyway, listen. What I'm most happy about is with legalized gambling, the procedures that I've done for so long that help people be winners. And if you ask me how I developed this one team a week, people that would bet with me naturally would bet with other people, and they would call me up and they were buried. And they'd be buried with me. And they said, could you give me a winner? That's how it started. And I did it to get people out. I cared. And it would have been the difference in them being, hurt very badly financially and maybe other ways. Part of my case was using my influence to not let people get hurt, even though they deserved it with their degenerate ways. They would beat a bookmaker for 100,000, go on a run and lose 40 the next week, and not give him $1. They were at his door. People, as a way of causing a trickle down effect, hurting. It's just not good. So 40 of my counts was reverse extortion. I was using my influence against people to help people. I mean, aren't you supposed to use your influence for that? Not according to the federal government. Anyway, so I forget when they arrested me. They said no good deed goes unpunished. I said I'd rather be punished for a good deed than a bad one.
Hey,
So I think this year, trying to help the people and teach us how to game is a good deed. I don't know if I'm being punished for it. Just so you don't know, we have not monetized here. We're not here for the greater glory of anything other than this is what Anthony likes to do. He goes to school for it. He's very good. You're going to see an interview. Uh, I'm consulting to a movie about the people of Kosovo, where in a period of a year and a half, 20,000 women were raped, 6,000 children were killed in the street, beaten, 50,000 people were killed. Americans are heroes at that. They came in Kosovo, and the guy who wrote the screenplay and is producing the film watched his father, a teacher, after getting beaten many times, and they were targeting him after he was a young man. He was shot twice just for no reason by a very vicious group. The father jumped in to save his son from getting another beating and getting brutalized, and they burnt his father to death in front of him when he was 15 years old. He's playing himself in the movie. Anthony's working on it, but he went to college for production, media communications. So I'm happy that I could help business resume in that area. And here I may be babbling, well, these are things that I like to give back and do. And one of the reasons I got involved with the movie is to bring my good friends in to direct and build Anthony's resume, so he could quit on me in the funding office. So once again, no good deed goes unpunished, but I'd rather be punished for a good one than a bad one. That's my last quote today. I'd like to go over some comments.
Yeah. Let's see what the people had to say.
All right, we got Jimmy's Place as usual. Very lonely guy.
Again?
Yeah, he says the level of ignorance is unbelievable. You do know I have, and not bragging, an IQ 4 points above Albert Einstein, not to say anything like that. You do know I invented the sweetheart teaser and the grand salami that you're still using. And those that said, yes, I helped develop the software that is used for legalized gambling. Matter of fact, I was one of the first to put out a website. It was called thewizardsports.com. That's where I got my name from. Evading, getting arrested. And they called me the ghost every time they were in this office or that office. I wasn't there. The feds gave me that name because they'd listened to me on the taps and bet my games. So they called me the wizard. So I gave them the graciousness. I was happy to give them winners too. I mean, they work hard. I don't know how hard they had to work to try to put me in jail, but it was fun. So Jimmy's Place, my level of ignorance. The fact that I'm even responding to you is an accurate depiction of its ignorance. Once again, squeaky wheel gets the most oil. In this case, the most urine. So I think that says it to you, Jimmy, what my feelings are. Go out, help somebody. Plant the redwood tree. Do something kind for someone. And then if you come back and aggravate me or try to, which you don't, I actually feel sorry for you. But I think we're owed to this show to help everybody. Anybody can help the good ones. I've always wanted to help the ones that needed it. Okay. Alan Rice, thank you for the kind words, pal. Thank you for the kind words about my dad. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. I'm glad you enjoyed some of the other things I did. Okay. Burrow owns Mahomes. Amazing. I don't think it's fixed. My man, I thought it's fixed from the first time that Joe Willie Namath walked on the field and the AFL at that time, two separate leagues, was training the Baltimore Colts, which was one of the best teams that ever took the field at that time. And if he didn't win that game, it would have been destructive. And Joe Willie Namath got paid the most of any three players together got paid in the NFL. It started all this. I thought it was fixed then. That don't mean we can't pick the teams we need to win. Fixed or not, we're wagering.
And winning.
What?
I said wagering and winning.
I said this to Anthony. I didn't listen to it on the Philadelphia game. I should have not drank my own Kool-Aid and maybe listened to my own advice. One of the things we've always said at handicap, if it's obvious in professional football, it's obviously wrong. And you can smell something wrong with the line. Okay. That's the start of handicapping, and that's why the line is so important. VV Drama. Oh, hello, Williamsburg. Two of my favorite restaurants in Williamsburg. I like Williamsburg. They did a terrific job redoing it. I like the people that are still there. Monty's, the best place, the only place in the city you can get a Blue Claw crab sauce in the 5 boroughs. and I haven't seen in other restaurants. They make it fantastic. And Peter Luger's, you don't need me to tell you about. Williamsburg, I'm with you.
I think I went on vacation there once.
What?
I think I went there on vacation once.
Williamsburg?
Yeah.
Brooklyn?
I
Or Peter Luger's?
No.
Williamsburg.
I was thinking Williamsburg, like
Historic Williamsburg,
Yeah.
where the cantonment.
yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
You're not getting a good steak or blue crab sauce.
Well, how am I supposed to know? Maybe there's some
Any
good
British
restaurants there. I
struggle,
was like
brother.
7.
The food in Britain is not very good. Okay. I don't want to say I'm cutting you off, but that was really ridiculous.
There's a lot of Williamsburg. How am I supposed to know which one we're talking about?
Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
I don't know. That's not the Williamsburg I think
Brooklyn
of.
boy. I bought up here, but look most of it right there. Popped out on this Berkeley. Okay, Luca Brasi. I never let anyone finish a sentence.
No.
I had to be very close with the real Luca Brasi. His name was Lenny Montana. He was a professional wrestler. Watch out, you could end up like him. That's when you really can't finish a sentence. Maybe you should end up like him. Okay. Patrick McGinty, you're probably the reason I come back. You said there's a few things you enjoy. You enjoy this. We will be that butcher next season. And I guarantee you we will make a lot of money. I've proven that I did not know at the beginning of this season if legalized gambling would
Affect everything.
hamper me.
Yeah.
I've learned things from Anthony. I think he's learned a lot from me. And that's what's most important. Listen to people speak. You may learn something. Okay. Once again, and thank you for all the kind words for Willie. I want to get him on the show before we end. Willie is our creative genius, along with his brother, Charlie. And most of the advice I take creatively comes from those that are under 15 years old. That's why I cut you off. You're over 15.
23.
When I start acting a little more immature, I'll pay attention to you. This whole maturity thing with you has got to go. It's really disgraceful how well you conduct yourself. What a waste of youth.
How could I?
So anyway, I'm signing off. We'll be here next week. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. I don't think there's any reason to talk about it. I think we have 2 shows before it.
One show. Well, this will come out Thursday, obviously, and then we got another week.
One more, yes.
Actually, the Pro Bowl's next week. I know that.
What are we going to do? That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not.
I used
really,
to like when they went to Hawaii.
It's not even. It's flag.
It was
football.
after the Super Bowl. It was great. Why did they change it?
They literally play flag football now. Literally, like I'm not even exaggerating.
I don't know what they do. I don't watch it. It's the most ridiculous thing.
Terrible.
That's probably orchestrated too. So anyway, for those of you that want to win, this is the place. Those of you that pick on us because we do win, this is the place. Those of you that have no place, so you bother us, this is the place. Anyway, I think it was a successful season. I think it was a successful year. I've grown. The prednisone really blew me up. Those who say I have a weight problem, it's the prednisone. But it's coming down. We're doing good. And I went from a 17% chance to live to a 26% chance to live. I like those odds.
Yeah.
I'm always for the underdog.
Always increasing.
What?
Just to keep it increasing.
Increase the peace. All right, thank you. Was one of the concerns why I wouldn't be here next year because I wouldn't be like a replacement player. So anyway, he's would have got replaced. Anthony would have replaced me. He would have been here next year, right?
I'd love to do the show, but
Jimmy would be his co-host.
Yeah, Jimmy's place.
Jimmy's place.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
Yes, Jimmy's place.
Secretly, it's me.
Hey, he brings 2 subscribers to the table.
Hey, we'll take it. We'll take it all.
What?
We'll take everybody.
And I guarantee he's got 2 phones and they're both him. He might do that whole Sybil thing where he's multiple personality disorder, schizophrenic. Oh, Jimmy, this is the greatest thing ever. Thank you. Jimmy, you're no good. Shut up. All right. So anyway, signing off. 25th episode. I want to thank Kevin McElhaney, Charlie, Willie, his other brother. They're going to join us because they deserve all the credit. And look for us next week, and we'll be here. God bless.